Are we live? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our LinkedIn Live.
Are we live?
Yes, we're live. We're live.
Hello, Mina.
Hi, hello, Luca. How are you today?
I am doing very well, doing very well. I'm quite excited today because we have something quite special to share.
Yes.
So this session is a follow-up to the new release.
Which everyone is loving, by the way. We have gotten a lot of good feedback from everyone. So today what we'll do is we will go over, yes, our mobile app. A lot of our users love using the mobile app because it's so easy to go into the app, record your meetings, in-person meetings, or your voice notes, and it just goes back to Salesforce automatically, and it helps you do a lot of things with managing your meetings, assigning participants, and all of that. So we will go over that first, and then towards the end,
yes,
we will go over all the features that all of you loved in our last release, and we'll just go over them in detail.
Quick recap.
Yes, a quick recap. Yes,
quick
yes.
recap. So now, let me actually share my screen. So without further ado, but
Yes.
and while I do that, Mina will tell you why we do these things, and why do we come live every. What is it? Every Thursday, the 3rd, the 5th, the 2nd, 1st.
Every Thursday of the
First
month.
Yes. Thursday of the month.
Yes.
That's today.
So we come live because we believe that this is a very good platform for us to interact with people, show them all about all what we're about, how we develop new features, everything that we're putting out there. Also to get to know you a little better, so you would know the leadership and the thought behind
Exactly. The talking heads and the people that actually work, right? But today,
yes,
we are live from my mobile.
Yes.
So I'm holding it in my hand. I'm sharing the screen because we, as Mina said, we want to go kind of end-to-end example and demo
Yes.
of our app. But most importantly, I think the mobile experience overall, right?
Exactly.
So the context is I'm meeting someone face-to-face, like Mina right now.
Mhm.
We're having a conversation. That conversation is relevant for our respective business.
Yes.
We're talking business, and we'll make up something, right, during our conversation. Now we want to be able, through our solution and with our beautiful mobile, to capture that conversation. We want to capture it with the full context, with the full recording and transcript, and most importantly, we want that information to travel directly into our Salesforce.
Yes.
At this stage, we had two options, right? We can start from the Salesforce app.
Exactly.
And then launch the Vinton app from there. Or if we are in a rush and we don't want to go through Salesforce, what was the name of the contact? Oh, I need to create a new lead and then record. No, we can go directly, and we're going to show you going directly into the Vinton app.
Exactly. So let's go.
Let's go. So I tap to it, and the share screen is working, which is already great. And well, the invitation is easy and straightforward. Start recording. Now, as I tap on the microphone,
you have two options.
One, well, they're probably self-explanatory, right? So do you want to record a voice note, or are you actually about to capture a live conversation? So what do we want to do? Well, it's two of us.
It's an in-person meeting. Before we record an in-person meeting, if you could just tell everybody how you use voice notes and how they help you managing your CRM.
Yes. So voice notes, I think the way one client described it is very interesting. They said not all important updates happen in a conversation that can be recorded, right? So you bump into someone, you get a text message, or you hear about something happening with a company that you're working with a project, a client, an opportunity that you're working on. That information is relevant. How do you capture it on the fly? You tap on voice note, and you just download your thoughts into Salesforce. We make a very good, reference there, typically with our name is Hey Vinton, to the way in which Siri and Alexa work, because they help you capture voice or receive voice commands and take action from it. The action that Vinton takes on a voice note is updating my Salesforce, which is very useful. Now, my kids are the experts on voice messages. They definitely don't like to type, and they kind of walk with their mobile phone like this. And I think to our clients, we typically say, what if you had to leave a voice message for your boss describing the update. That's exactly what you do with a voice note, and then Vinton takes care of the rest.
Yeah. So you can leave it on an opportunity or on contact or on an account, wherever you would want to.
Exactly. And that information then will be used to update Salesforce in a context-aware way, which is, the way we built it. But now, in-person meeting.
Let's see it in action, I think.
So I tap on in-person meeting. The next screen is an optional screen, but we strongly recommend it. And it's about asking the participants that, you have permission to record their voices, to transcribe it, and to use that information for note-taking and updating purposes. Now, the interesting option that we offer here to reassure participants is that, and some of our clients actually make use of it, the recording itself will not be stored. So we only use the voice to create the transcript. So you can kind of easily tell the people around the room, my solution is going to transcribe our conversation rather than record our conversation. Yeah. And that recording will never be stored anywhere, but the transcript and the insights generated from the transcript will be available to all of us for our collective follow-up from this conversation.
Yeah, and it's completely optional whether you want to save the recording, not save it, delete it after a day, delete it after 365 days, up to your...
I'm going to...
okay, I agree.
Tap, because you just agreed, and we can start recording. Now, this should be, again, very self-explanatory. Now we're having our conversation.
Hello, Luca. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, Mina. And you, it's finally good to meet in person.
Yes. How have you been? How's the business going?
Business is going very well. Thank you. Thank you for asking. We have just released a bunch of new features. Well, it's actually already been a month. I'm saying just, and they are proving very popular. One of our most popular new functionalities is related to mobile and in-person meetings captured via mobile in particular.
Oh, that's really cool. So I think we will want it in our Salesforce as well.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yes, we discussed about how you also have a reason to get some efficiency and maybe increase the quality of data in your Salesforce. Exactly. This will be a great way to do that.
Yeah, and we should absolutely do it. If you could just pause the recording for a moment, I need to talk about something with you off the record.
And I just paused. And this was Mina's way to show that, we now also have a pause and resume, very easy button. But now, we shared the confidential part of the information or the informal part of the conversation, and we can resume the business.
Yes.
Okay. So we're back talking business, Mina. Okay, so how many licenses do you want?
I want 1,000 licenses.
1,000? That's, a lot of licenses. That's a big company. This is proving to be a very valuable conversation. Now, jokes aside, this is a great solution, and it's very helpful. It's proving interestingly helpful across a wide range of use cases. We have some of our clients using it in interviews or informal candidate conversations, just to automatically update their profile in their database. We have obviously business conversations when a contractor is on site, just reminded, and they're discussing with the owner of the project or other subcontractors, and they're discussing taking important decisions with regards to the project. This is another great way to capture the essence of the conversation immediately and directly in the case or in the work order for some of our clients. The commercial conversation that we're having is another obvious use case. Now, we've talked for a couple of minutes, so let's throw in a couple of next steps. So I'm going to send you some more documentation on this solution.
So, and I will send you the security questionnaire that I would need you guys to fill, and we can get started. I think let's start with a sandbox. I will create a user for you in the sandbox. You can complete the setup, and then we can get started on the trial.
That's great news, and we'll do that. We'll do just that.
Thank you so much.
And I will stop. Thank you, Mina. Okay, now we have a long recording. Well, it's a couple, almost 3 minutes. So, and you're seeing, me handling my mobile here. I click save. what is happening on my mobile now is that that conversation is being compressed on the mobile, sent into the cloud for processing. And I have a thumb up, so I can click on done, and my job is done. And I can now close this beautiful app and go back to.
An important point that I think we should mention, and our front end lead who has worked really hard on this would also probably like to mention this as well, that this is, even if you don't have internet, it would be stored locally. So for instance, if you're at a place where you don't have internet, this would be stored locally in your mobile app. So for instance, you were at a site where there's no interview, you can have a ton of recordings, and then you can come back home late at night. You can just click on upload all, and it uploads all the files that you have. So that's also something that we have.
That is a very good point, Mina. And while this is processing in front of our eyes, it's going to take another few seconds, maybe a minute. That offline component that Mina just mentioned is very relevant. We've seen a lot of these conversations happening in places where there's not great reception. And, and even Salesforce itself needs to be online in order to work and activate itself. Whereas, our solution doesn't actually need that. Now, the call is processed, so I'm going to move this to a side, and we can take a look at a couple of things. Well, I believe, hopefully by now, you are familiar with our interface. So the conversation has been captured in my Vinton list, in my library. So this is, capturing, it's a demo library, obviously, but it's capturing all my conversations that have happened, so far in my week, kind of a busy week or not. But most importantly, we have a bunch of information. Before I show you this, the summary, I want to kind of go over here, because I don't like person 1 and person 2. I do like it because it's identified, obviously, that 2 people were speaking. But what I want to do is make sure that person 1 and person 2 are identified easily, right? So you can see person 1, that's me, and I can do Luca, and that would be me as the user. And then person 2 is Mina. Who is a client. So we're going to use Mina client contact that I have in this demo. And you can see that in the background, there are a few updates happening. And that's because with this update, now we've informed Vinton, and therefore Salesforce, that there's a new update that is relevant for a client called Mina. And you can see that here. And therefore, an account where this contact, Mina, belongs. And also an opportunity because Mina has a contact role as part of this opportunity. So all those records are now already updated with this new information and this new conversation. Now, what is the update? Well, the update has been identified as a sales conversation, specifically actually with reference to an early stage sales conversation, because it's applying specific framework of reference. We use BANT in this example, which is budget, authority, need, and timeline, right? And you can see that it's now attributing the lion's share of speaking, as always. Kind of my curse there.
It's updated the participants as well.
Updated the participants, with their face if they have one. And let's actually take a look at how Vinton has summarized this conversation. An in-person sales discovery meeting between Luca, the vendor, and Mina, the prospect, discussing potential purchase or licenses, focusing on Mina business needs, budget, authority, and decision timeline. And then it goes into the blocks of the conversation that are also summarized here. This probably very well, having worked with Vinton, or having seen maybe previous live examples or offline examples of this. Now, a couple of other things, actually. If I play this back, we weren't planning to show this. You can hear me talking, as you expect in this recording. But what I wanted to show is this, right? So we now have, let me zoom in, subtitles that we are, we can turn on or off, and they apply to all media. So they also apply, obviously, to the video recording when they happen. And we have the auto identification of the fact that this conversation was in English with an accent. probably.
But English, still English.
I've been in England for long enough that I don't have an accent anymore. But why are you laughing? Now, focusing on this, why is this relevant? Why is this important? Because now, after a conversation, I had a 3 minutes conversation. Now, I have all the information that I need, exactly where I need them. I can deep dive into what was discussed. I can even go and ask questions about this conversation.
How many licenses?
Like, how many licenses? How do you spell licenses? I don't know. Licenses. Yeah, it could be,
1,000
Mina because
licenses.
1,000 licenses during the call. Wow, it was a lot of licenses. But obviously, I can ask more important information.
Yes.
I actually found myself creating two things in the last few days from Ask Vinton, this functionality specifically. One was if there was a mention of the client going on holiday, because I didn't remember. I think they said it. But most importantly, I also asked Vinton to create a quick document based on the ROI conversation that we had, so that they could, my client could actually use that document as part of their ROI internal conversation to unlock more budget for our beautiful solution. Now, efficiency, an email has been drafted right after our call, and it captures the conversation. It captures, what was discussed, the agreed next steps, and how to use it. Talking about the next steps. Next steps has been captured and attributed. Luca Benini needs to send Mina more documentation on the solution, needs to send security questionnaire to Mina, complete the security questionnaire, and all of that. The transcript we've seen, we also have some highlights. This very well. It was a good, positive conversation. There was only a moment when there was a pause for an off-the-record part of the conversation. And coaching, I didn't actually do a great job here with my score because I didn't clarify the budget early. I didn't confirm the decision authority, and I didn't establish a clear
and also
timeline.
because this coaching is directly related related to the band methodology, because we've added
that's
that
what
around,
identified.
so that's why it's saying that you did not identify budget. And
exactly. So this gave us, I think, an opportunity to look at a few new functionalities, right? Obviously, the whole mobile experience, the end-to-end, the assignment of specific speakers. So the identification of the speakers. We talked about the templates. We talked about subtitles. We looked into Ask Vinton, and we also went into the coaching and the sentiment analysis. Now, what else is super cool?
Yeah, I think the most cool part about this is that you just went into the transcript, assigned it to the client, and now you automatically have the meeting across your opportunity account. So it's all linked together. So your CRM is updated and complete. So even if I don't have access to the client and I'm your boss and I want to go and see what's up with the opportunity, I can always go and see the recording over there. So I think this is very helpful.
That's right.
For anybody who's navigating through the CRM and wants an update on an opportunity or an account or a contact. So it's, I think, really helpful.
That context awareness is paramount important, and that's also the beauty of being native, right? So the information is captured automatically in Salesforce, and Salesforce through Vinton knows how to distribute the information. Now, what you said about this is obviously the contact that we've assigned as the person one was speaking. Now, if we jump into the opportunity, not only we see obviously the update as you were saying, so we're updating the rest of the organization on how this conversation is contributing to driving the opportunity forward. But the update doesn't stop there. So a quick refresh, kind of brings additional information also into the opportunity. We have a lot of our clients actually adding an activity, like a Salesforce activity, directly into their Salesforce based on
Yes.
conversation, right? So
Yes.
automatically creating that activity.
Also, because a lot of our clients are doing that, where they add an activity like an event or a task after a call is completed. So this is something that we've also decided to include within the product.
Yes.
So we're also looking into add that into the product to see.
And then the next step, talking about tasks and events, next step like this one can actually be automatically created into a task, a Salesforce task. And this, just to give you an example, has now been attributed. It's assigned to me because that's me who clicked on the creation of a new task, and I need to send Mina more documentation on the solution. The due date is in a week. That's kind of the default. We can obviously change that. The status is open. The priority is normal, and it's related to the particular account with all the related opportunities and contacts there. All of this can be customized because most of our clients actually, when they use task in their own way, right?
Exactly.
So they have that organized information in the way that they want. Very good. Are we ready to take questions? What do you think?
Yes. Let me see if we have any questions today.
Where do I see the questions? Should I go on LinkedIn? See the LinkedIn live. Okay, I brought 2 screens today. She's very.
We're upgrading.
We're upgrading. I need.
I don't think I can see any questions.
No questions right
now.
So what is a question that we get quite often? One question, and something that is proving very popular, is this little button here at the top right corner, which allows me to upload, so add into my library other videos or audios that have been recorded previously, so that they also are where they need to be. First of all, they're in Salesforce, and also importantly, they get parsed through.
We've seen a lot of our clients using it, because like if you are onboarding today but you have some recordings from previous recording, just yesterday I think we were talking to a client prospect where they said, oh, we have a few important meetings that I would need to summarize or have a summary from or have a transcript, or would need them saved in Salesforce. So you can do that over here. It's something that's very useful, I believe. And also I think it's very easy. You download the packages, you connect, and then you see the insights or the output right away. And you don't even have to connect the note taker, which is also very simple. Maybe you would also like to show how we've introduced personal note takers, which has been like super
that's right,
as a super cool feature, and everybody's loving it. It's easy now. Note taker follows you into your meetings. You don't have to invite it anymore. And
so you saw me clicking on that little settings wheel, and this actually takes me into a page, and this is exactly the experience that our clients will have when they say, hey guys, we have Vinton. The one thing that you have to do in order to make sure that all your meetings, all your video calls in this example are captured through Vinton, you need to connect your calendar. That will inform Vinton that there's a meeting, and Vinton will join.
And before you connect your Google Calendar, you can see that over here you only see Google as an option, but you can also see Outlook, because an organization either has Google or an Outlook. So we want to remove any noise from this page.
And we are integrated with both, of course.
So you can select the platform that you want to use from the admin panel, and that would appear over here.
I choose my...
Let's connect.
Connection, my identity. It needs to be the same email that I use for my Salesforce, right? So that's important. Maybe it's obvious, but not necessarily. And now all of a sudden, my calendar is synced with Vinton. So this is, hey, success. Look at that, success. Now we have, my Vinton is aware of all my calendar invites, and I can now change the name of the note taker. We have a default, Vinton note taker, but a lot of our clients actually like to personalize that. For instance, I can choose a name like Luca Benini Meeting Assistant, and that's confirmed. And then I have the options also to choose when Vinton is invited to join. Now, I want Vinton in all my calls. I will choose the first default option there.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm invited, Vinton is invited too. I can also change that to only those instances when I'm the host. So if it's my meeting, my
Only
Vinton
then.
will join.
Yeah.
Or internal meetings or external meetings. So,
Yes.
that will be based on the participant's domain of the email for the
Exactly.
invites. And so if it's an internal meeting, if it's an external meeting.
Yes.
Now, let's actually leave it like that. And just like that, I have my note taker is connected. So anytime I'm invited in a meeting, I create a new meeting, I participate into a meeting.
Yes.
That meeting will be automatically
And
added in my library.
one more thing I think which we should mention over here, we've designed it in a way that if there's an internal meeting and all of the users in your Salesforce have their own note taker connected, there would not be 100 note takers joining the call. Only one would join and it would record it for everybody in the call. So for example, me and Luca and the rest of our team is in a meeting, which is an internal meeting. My note taker is also connected and Luca's note taker is also connected. 3 note takers would not join, only one would join. You would receive a message in the chat which would say that, hey, multiple note takers were detected, but only one is let in, but the call will be transcribed and summarized and recorded for everyone. And all of the participants who are users in Salesforce with the Vinton and native video license would see that recording in their Vinton tab. So there's no confusion. It's a more cleaner interface. You don't have to let 20 note takers into the call. It's just one note taker, and it's easier, seamless, and
very, very helpful. What else? There's a ton of things. You can see the Hey Vinton button here. That's the reference that I was making earlier to the button. So again, you can the same exact functionality that we used via mobile can be used on a desktop or on a laptop. Quite simply, like clicking on Hey Vinton to add to the library and then assign the participants later, or going directly into a contact, and this will actually already live inside the specific record that we're recording from. In this case, it is effectively a contact, and it will also automatically update the related account, ACME, and the opportunity related there.
On desktop, you would not see whether an option to choose a voice note or an in-person meeting, because it's smart in the way that it detects the voices in the audio, and then it categorizes as an in-person meeting if if the recording has more than one voice, and as a voice note if it's just me taking a note. So you don't have to go through those steps of selecting, because it can be a bit tedious in Salesforce. You're already in, it's an overwhelming amount of data in here anyway. So that's also something that simpler, easier.
Yes. And then maybe last thing, auto detection of languages, and the ability to understand the language spoken and transcribe it in its original language. This is always impressive, I have to say, as someone that speaks or participates into meetings in different languages. It's all happening behind the scene. We probably shouldn't be surprised anymore by what AI does, because it's kind of incredible, but it's not. It's there, it's happening, and it's language auto detection. I think it spans across more than 100 languages, including local dialects or local variations of the same language, which is
different accents. That's how it recognizes us speaking.
Exactly. But I don't know if it actually changes from a English spoken badly, basically.
It just like we have an option to, so we have different accent: American English, Indian English. So when you go there, you have like British English. So there's a lot of English accents that we can. I think once I tested it with a friend with a Liverpool accent, and it was so good. So we've tested it with a lot of accents, and it works.
Different accents. Okay, good. Look, this actually takes us to the half hour. So thank you for spending time with us and for taking a look at our Vinton and functionalities. Thank you, Mina, for the vision and the execution of creating such beautiful solutions for our clients. We're open for business also during the summer. Right? It's
Yes.
hot outside, but we're in air
But we're
conditioning.
working. Yes.
We're fine. We'll respond to emails and we'll give
Exactly.
demos. So come and check us out. Go to the App Exchange. Find Vinton. You just need to go to Google and just search Vinton Salesforce as a couple of keywords. That will come up for sure. And we'll see you from that point onwards. We can either send you information, update what you're looking at. Anything you need. Absolutely. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Have a good rest of the day. And I'm going to end the stream. Bye-bye.